Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of the BTB Show. Got Earl, got Max with me, no Omar for this vid, but we ball. This episode, we're going to be talking about the hot LA Clippers right now. Probably the hottest team in LA, maybe, question mark. Let's see. We'll talk about it. Starting off with, we go with Earl, man. Earl, what you think? Little bro Clippers.
I'm so proud of my little brothers, man. We had the fate of the NBA on the line. If y'all don't know, we say this every time we talk about the Clippers. The Oklahoma City Thunder owns their pick, so we need the Clippers to be good, bro. I'm not saying I need them to compete for a championship, but I need them out that top 3 range. But keeping it about the Clippers, I think they look fantastic, and I think we can contribute a lot of that effort to Kawhi Leonard coming back from injury. I know he's kind of missed a couple games recently, but ever since he's been back, he's been on an absolute tear. He really looks like prime Kawhi Leonard. I think his only limitations, obviously, are the same things that's been keeping him out the last couple of years, which is injuries. I think he's done a lot better of managing those injuries this year, even if it means he misses like 2 to 3 games. He plays like 10, which is a really good ratio compared to the last couple of years. And they look so much better chemistry-wise. And I know there'll be some questions about Chris Paul and whether or not he started this streak, good or bad. But I think Chris Paul, whether you like it or not, he awoken something in there. Whether it was disrespect towards those players, maybe they're like, we don't need this grumpy man telling us what to do. And maybe it made them lock in more. I don't know, but they look a lot better. James Harden is playing absolutely incredible basketball. Playmaking, scoring, everything. Still getting to the line at an efficient rate as well. And I think just overall, I think their defense has been, like, to me, a top key into the reason why they're a top team right now. I know there was a lot of concerns. We had a power ranking a week ago or two about them not making it top 5, but sneak peek, if we do another one of those, they for sure will be in there because this is, 2 weeks in a row they've managed to rise up in the rankings. So, yeah, shout out to the Clippers. I'm excited what they've been able to do. And, yeah, I did also hear great news for Clippers fans, well, if you care. It looks like they're kind of staying pat on the trade deadline. I know before there was a lot of concerns about them potentially trading off some of their higher-end players because they were so sorry. But, hey, they've seemed to turn things around, and they're riding with their team to the end of the season. So, shout out to them for that.
Yeah, man, to really go off what Earl said, I'll go next. I think that this turnaround has been the biggest story of this NBA season. Like, at first, it was OKC and their hot start. And then, of course, LeBron coming back to the Lakers after he missed, like, the first month of the season. That was another big story. This is definitely one of the 3 biggest stories of the year. Like, we went from literally begging the league, hey, please don't let OKC get another pick, to them just start winning games. Like, they heard the outside noise. They let go of Chris Paul, who was probably bad internally. And we're seeing the results now. I mean, Kawhi Leonard and James Harden are absolutely carrying this team. Even the small guys like Jordan Miller, who got a bag that I don't think anybody else has in the league. Got these guys off the bench that are coming up. John Collins is finally playing like he earned that contract. Like, there's guys on his team that have all stepped up. But, like, starting off with the 2 main guys, like I said, James Harden in his last 20 games, they're 16-3 in their last 19. So I'm going to go 20-game sample size. James Harden is averaging 23.9 points, so we'll say 24 points per game, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Kawhi Leonard is averaging basically 30 points per game, 29.3, 8 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and he's playing some of the best defense of his life, bro. Like Earl said, the defense has completely turned around. They went from being a bottom 5 defense to a probably top 5 defense. And their last 19 games, last 16 games, 11 of their last 16 games, they have held opponents to less than 105 points. In today's NBA, that's like holding a team to 90 back in the day. Like, that is how good they're playing defensively. The offense is coming around. Kawhi Leonard, I know, like Earl said, he just missed a couple games. When he plays, he's a top 5 player in the league. It is what it is. He's going toe-to-toe with your best player. He can guard your best player. Then you got James Harden facilitating him to step back threes, getting to the line, doing his thing. Big Zoo, still a really good center in this league. I cannot believe what they've done really since they let go of Chris Paul and they really turned the corner. But, yeah, shout out to the Clippers. They're looking like the hottest team in LA right now. But, Max, what you think, brother?
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit that I did not see this turnaround coming for the Clippers. I forget exactly what I said when we talked about the Clippers parting ways with Chris Paul a couple months ago. But I would not at all be surprised if I came on here and said something to the effect of the Clippers are not gonna that the Clippers aren't going to be doing anything this year. We've made a couple videos about the Clippers, like Earl said, potentially being a lottery team. Well, right now they don't look they look like at the very least a play-in team, and to be quite honest, they are playing like a playoff team. If you look at the stretch post Chris Paul, they were 5-16 when I guess they didn't technically release him, but they sent him home, unceremoniously sent him home. But since then, if I'm doing my math correctly, they are 17-8. In their last 19 games, they are 16-3. In the 19-game sample size before that, they're 16-3 in their last 19. Before that, they were 3-16 in their last 19. So very much a tale of two seasons here for the Clippers, and I hate to pin it all on the departure of Chris Paul, although I do think he does have a lot to do with it. The fact that you can pretty much trace their success back to the game that they let him go. I believe that was a game in Atlanta that they ended up winning. Back when Atlanta, we kind of looked at them more as like one of the more positive teams in the Eastern Conference. So really, since then, they've been playing a lot better ball. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard coming back, I don't want to overshadow that. He is the main driving factor of this team playing better. They're just so much more dynamic when they have two go-to scorers out there. Obviously, Harden, with the ball in his hands, is probably still the number one guy, but Kawhi Leonard with his turnaround mid-range, his catch and shoot threes. He's getting a lot more threes up this year, which I think is beneficial for them because he's always been a good percentage-wise three-point shooter. Yeah. He just hasn't necessarily been volume, but he's showing that he could be a volume shooter this year, which helps them a ton. I do want to give a shout-out to their young guys as well. Kobe Sanders, Jordan Miller, guys that have come in and given them solid minutes off the bench in the absence of Bradley Beal and Chris Paul, who we thought was going to be a lot of their backcourt. This younger backcourt comes in and gives them a little more energy because they do still have a very overwhelmingly old team. So I give them a lot of credit. I think now the conversation more so shifts from are they a lottery team to are they a playoff team? Because as we're recording this episode, they're up to 10th in the Western Conference. And I don't think any of us 2 months ago would have said that was even a remote possibility. Anyone on this panel. Because Tyronn Lue, to his everlasting credit, I forget exactly when he said this, but this was, again, back when the Clippers seemed like they were destined for a top 5 or 6 pick that they were going to give to OKC. Tyronn Lue set the goal of them finishing this season above 500. And I want to say maybe 2% of NBA fans believed him, if that, and maybe that 2% is probably just biased Clippers fans, but they're currently 2 games under 500. They could reach above 500 within the next week. And to go out there and say that, especially when your team is playing poorly, and there were rumors swirling about his relationship with Chris Paul, and I don't want to say on the hot seat, but when there was a lot of negative press around the team, to come out and make a statement like that is bold. And so I think as much as we would have kind of given Ty Lue slack if the Clippers had just continued to run their season into the ground after that, I think he deserves a lot of credit. He stood on business. He said what he said. And right now it looks more likely than not that they'll at least be above 500 at some point this season. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for them to win 41 or 42 games. In the Western Conference, is that good enough for a playoff spot? Maybe, maybe not. I would assume that'll put them squarely in the play, and it's going to be tough to catch up to that kind of top 5 or 6 in the West, but when you're 16-3 in your last 19 games, that's as good as any team in basketball right now. So I'm not going to doubt the Clippers. Do I think they're championship contenders? Probably not, but I could totally see them keeping this hot stretch up for the next couple months or so as we head to the playoff push.
Hey, I agree with everything you said, Max. I swear to God, I forgot Bradley Beal's on this team.
Out for the season, but
I cannot believe, man, if Bradley Beal was on this team, they'd probably be even better because they'll have a little spark off the bench. I don't think he would be starting.
I think I might disagree with that. I think with Bradley Beal, I think Jordan Miller's come in and kind of filled that role of like bench. Like obviously he's not as talented as a scorer, Bradley Beal, but I think he fits really well. I like what they're doing when he comes in there. It gives them a little more kick than the 32-year-old Beal. So
like the addition by subtraction thing, like how last year when they lost Paul George, Norman Powell just stepped up and he was just good all of a sudden.
I don't think Jordan Miller or Kobe Sanders are playing or get any sort of real NBA minutes with Bradley Beal in that spot, but I think it's been a bit of a blessing in disguise. Maybe they're not as good as Bradley Beal right now, but I don't think those are guys you look at and you feel bad about having off your bench, certainly.
Well, hey, you heard it here first on BTB. Clippers are hot. They will be in our next Power Ranking Top 5. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode, and let us know what y'all think in the comments. Peace.